What's up, Bridgton? Is this a Bridgton crowd? You guys all Bridgetonians? Clap it up if you live in Bridgton. Clap it up if you live somewhere else. You guys all from Maine, or clap it up if you're from away? A couple of you. All right, so you're mostly Mainers. A couple of you come from. All right, my family's from away, so I thank you for having me. Maine. My family's new to Maine. We just moved here in 1810, so I know we'll never really be Mainers. I'm so sorry about that. It actually gets worse. My great-great-great-great-grandfather Greg, when he moved here in 1810, moved here from Massachusetts. Yeah, fuck us, right? Oh, man, Massall. That's the second time I've heard that lady say that, I think. That's great. So I never minded in 1810 when Greg moved here. This was Massachusetts. Nobody gives a shit about that. You guys even know that? He's like, his big line was, I never left Massachusetts, Massachusetts left me. And then everybody said I was from away, and I was like, well. Anyway, I'm just fucking around. I moved here in 2020. Hi, it's nice to be here. Wabanaki. Yeah? Well, see, they're not Maine. Are they Maine? Like, what is a Maine? Like, a Mainer has to have, like, you know, moved here in 1650 or later, right? So, you found the hole in the bed. The lady found the hole in the bed. Sorry. Yeah, we're all from away, right? We're all from away. So it's kind of a bullshit phrase, isn't it? From away. You're just sort of an insular thing. It's all right. It's just from away suggests that there are two parts of the planet Earth, right? Maine and away. All right, let's walk through what some of these places have to offer then. All right, what's in Maine? Cool, you got Portland, you got Bar Harbor, you got Bangor, you got Baxter, Acadia, you got Freiburg. What's in away? Oh, New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, the Grand Canyon, Australia, and the Great Barrier Reef. The real Poland, Norway, Mexico, and China. It's cool out there. Check it out, and then come back. It's great here. It's better here. I mean, really, I do think the slogan is basically right. Maine is the way life should be. Plus, ticks. There shouldn't be ticks. The rest of it is cool. My kids, I have these two kids. They're beautiful, still dumb, but we'll get to that. They were 1 and 4 when we moved here, so they will never be Mainers, from what I understand. Which is, you know, proudly, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Fuck them. Even though they don't remember anything but Maine, right? So when they grow up and they leave Maine, people are going to say, where are you from? They're going to say Maine. But when they're here, and people are like, where are you from? They're going to have to be like, I'm from away. Oh, okay, where? I don't know. No idea where I'm from. I moved here for one simple reason. Moved here actually not from Massachusetts. I grew up there. But I thought I'd spend a decade in the other place that Mainers hate the most, Washington, D.C. So I'm from both of those horrifying places that you hate. And I thought, how can I have the least amount of credibility when I move to Maine? I know. But I do have these wonderful, moved. I'll talk about the kids in a second. Moved to Maine for this big reason, the drivers. I don't know if you guys know this, but Mainers are the best drivers in America. I'm not joking. I've been all over the country. You're the best drivers. You know why? Because the average speed is 15 miles an hour. Yeah. All about that. In the other states, those are just the stoners. Here it's everybody, which is great, because I blend in, you know? But I moved here directly from Washington, D.C., a decade there, and I realized in my car why I needed to leave Washington, D.C. and move to a place where people were not such assholes on the road. You guys are actually very kind. You always let everybody in. I mean, every single time. At a 4-way stop sign, I've yet to not go first in 4 years in Maine. I have had people stop cold on the interstate just to let me enter. Anyway, you guys are really great, really nice. And in Washington, it's the exact opposite, and it brings out the monster in me. And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy. You do? Well, okay, go to fucking Washington, D.C. So here's the story of what happened to me, why I decided I needed to leave D.C. I'm driving in my car, I'm trying to get home. I'm half a block from my house. I get to the stop sign, I need to take a left. I can see my house, but I can't get there because there's a giant SUV blocking the opposite lane. Going this way, sitting behind an entire block's worth of traffic at a red light a block ahead. It had its stop sign, it pulled forward, filled up the entire intersection. I can see my house. I'm like desperate. I can smell my bong. I'm like, I gotta get there. But I can't. So I did what any good Boston trained driver would do in this situation. Just lean on the horn. You know, just scream, fuck! all my windows are up, and I'm just screaming, I'm blowing up, got the horn blaring, and this guy starts to put his window down. I'm like, oh, okay. He wants to apologize. I'll hear him out, put my window down, and he says something very surprising. He says, "This is a funeral procession." I honestly didn't expect that. I didn't think that was possible. Didn't think of that. Yikes, that's right. I'm like, so I say back, you mean all of these people are going to a funeral? Yes. I was like, well, they're gonna be going to 2 funerals if you don't get your fucking car out of the goddamn road. What does that have to do with anything? You're gonna blame a dead guy because you're a shitty driver. That's rude. He's not gonna be dead if you get there 1 car length later. What is the big... So anyway, it's possible to be right and wrong at the same time, is I guess what I'm saying. I was right, but I was also wrong, and I thought, this is a monster. I'm a monster. I need to leave this place. So I moved here to Maine, and that hasn't happened. I haven't honked my horn once in 4 years. It's fucking awesome. It's great. I love it. People have definitely pulled some weird shit. I don't honk. I just sit there. I'm just like, whatever. I got nowhere to go. It's great. I got a couple little kids. We got any parents here? Clap it up. Parents! That was kind of enthusiastic. You must not spend much time with them. Cool. I'm a stay-at-home dad most of the time for my 2 little kids. Yeah. If anybody here wants to switch lives, I'll take my chances with whatever you've got going on. I love my kids, but they're a lot. They are a lot. Like I said, they're 5 and 8, and they are still dumb, and it has taken forever, and I don't know when they're gonna pass me, and that's gonna be arguably scarier. But right now, it's just the Matt show at home, which I thought would be cooler. It's not. It's really shitty. The worst part, though, is when people tell me that they're particularly smart. I'm like, that's just an insult. That's really, I know you're trying to be nice, but that is... And of course, they mean, for their ages. That's what they're trying to say. They're smart for their ages. But that doesn't really have any cash value for me, does it? Doesn't do anything for me. It's just insulting. It's belittling. I do everything. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. They can't do anything. They can't remember anything. If I described a person to you that way... oh, you should be my friend Joe. He doesn't know anything, he can't do anything, and he can't remember anything. Would you be like, oh, he sounds smart. Look at this guy's take on world history. Oh, you wouldn't. But that's what people, they're so smart, they say. I'm like, good Lord. Last year, the younger one, he was 4 at the time, the preschool teacher pulls me aside and says, I think Leo might be a genius. I'm like, Leo da Vinci? Which Leo? He's like, no, your little boy Leo. Okay, well, why would you say that to me? He says his sentence structure is very accelerated for his age. I'm like, all right, can you teach him to shit in a toilet then? Because I can't. I've tried every possible structure of the sentence. I've tried 2.5 languages in reverse psychology, and the guy's just like, no, I ain't gonna fucking, no way. They just take forever. I'm sort of used to it, but by now I'm just bitter, and my brain doesn't really work anymore. It's been a painful 8 years. It's wonderful. It's like it's been a lot of Yahtzee. It's been a lot of Yahtzee. We've had a lot of laughs, but it takes them forever to learn the most basic things. Like it took both of my kids over a year just to learn how to walk. Come on. That's how long. Apparently that's normal. I'm like, oh my God, that's a very long time to learn something very basic. Did you know that the moment a horse is born, it gets up, shakes itself off, and gallops the fuck away? It moves out. It's like, bye. What is this? It's just gone. It's bye. Gets work and starts sending checks back home. Finds a Budweiser carriage to pull or something. But a human baby can't even survive without its parents until it is 32 years old. 24 more years of this. That's just the older kids. Shit. It's all good. It's all good. We had to move from D.C. because the parenting in the city of Washington that's not like the way to raise a normal person, I don't think, in the seat of international power. Like, we lived right in the city, and it was not good. Here was another moment where I thought, we got to get the hell out of here. This is no good. When my older kid was 3, and I was putting her down, like for the night. And she says to me the sweetest thing. She says, "Daddy, are monsters real?" I'm like, "Yeah." Good night. She's like, wait. There aren't any monsters nearby, are there, Daddy? I'm like, "Baby, we live in the middle of Washington, D.C. We're surrounded by monsters right now. There's probably one in our building. Just get some sleep. It's okay." I swear to God, she goes, "But you're my daddy, and you're gonna kill the biggest, meanest monster in town, right?" I'm like, "Shh, it's a federal crime to even say that. You can't say that, Jesus." She doesn't mean it, she's kidding. She goes, "What's a crime?" I'm like, "Well, people can't agree on that anymore, darling. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. We'll see which judge we get, it doesn't, I don't know. We need to move." That was what I concluded. It's a weird time. Things are getting weirder politically. Like in D.C., the government message is just pounded into you every day in the newspapers. They say the same story every day. For 6 straight months, they said this story. You probably heard it, but they really pounded it to us. They said, all 17 U.S. intelligence agencies agree Russia is hacking our elections. Russia! I always thought, oh my God, there are 17 U.S. intelligence agencies? That's a lot of intelligence for a pretty stupid country, am I right? We don't need 17. I lived in D.C. for 10 years. I can't name more than a handful. Like we have like the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, the CSI, CSI Miami. That's all I got. Do that bit in D.C., people start shouting letters at me. They're just like shouting out random assortments of letters, like their agencies. So there was one woman, she yelled out, ODNI. I'm like, ODNI, that's a drug. I've been really high on ODNI, I think, a couple times. She's like, no, that stands for Office of the Director of National Intelligence. I'm like, oh, okay, do you work there? She goes, maybe. Okay. Can't do that bit in D.C. anymore. Yeah, they're on me. I think the funnest part, though, there are some redeeming qualities about being a stay-at-home parent, which is that you witness all the firsts. I didn't miss any of them. I saw first step, first word. The best, though, first F-bomb. My daughter's first F-bomb. Just after we moved here to Maine, pandemic had just started, and this is a word-for-word quote. I put this up against anybody else's first F-bomb story. She's sitting there eating apple slices next to the 1-year-old, Leo. We remember Leo, the genius. And unprompted, she turns to him and says, Leonardo, would you care for some fucking apples? Those are the moments. I know I'm supposed to be like be disciplining for that, right? I'm supposed to say you can't talk that way, that's bad language, that word in the middle. But the rest of the sentence was like so 5-star, I was nervous to jump in because, like, first of all, sharing is fucking caring, right? So there's that. She used the full Leonardo, which is like the more formal, and then the would you care for, this up here. Would you care? That's Downton Abbey level English right there. And I'm feeling like if I step on any of this, she'll get confused and she'll just throw the whole thing out and she won't talk any of that talk again. So I'm just like, that's great. You're fantastic. Keep it. And Leo, he's the only one. He couldn't talk yet, but his face was just screaming, yeah, I want some fucking apples. So she takes a slice out of the bowl and she licks it on all sides. And that's when I stepped in. I'm like, honey, you can't give him that apple slice that's got your germs on it. And she turns to me and she goes, Daddy, when did you turn into such a fucking bitch? I'm like, oh, no! Junior high, good Lord. Who are you? Who talks like that? Where are you from? She goes, I'm from away. I know, that's terrible. That's my time. Thanks, you guys. You've been great.